Darryl here at DJ's Workshop. So today we're going to be working on the Wheel Horse tractor. We're getting towards the end of summer here into fall, and I want to get this thing tuned up and get the plow on it, get the cap back on it. So this way when the winter comes and the snow hits, it should be ready to roll. So I got some tune-up parts from iSaveTractors.com. I'll show you what I got, and we'll show you getting it all tuned up, cleaned up, and ready to roll. Alright, here we go. Okay, so this is the kit that I got from iSaveTractors.com. I don't have any affiliation with them, but they have a lot of the stuff I need, so I do like buying from them. Alright, so the first thing is we have a gasket set here. I'm going to show you the part numbers in case you want to get them. This is the gasket set for the carburetor. This is the new carburetor and the linkage. Okay, this is the part number on the carburetor. Then we have a new condenser and a set of points we're going to put in. Okay, that's the part number on that. And then we have a new ignition coil. Okay, that's the part number for that. New spark plug. This is a H10C champion plug. This is another linkage for the carburetor. This is the new ignition coil wire. Show you that number. And then this one is the fuel line and filter and shut-off valve. Okay, so I got this whole kit, and it was only $166. So that's pretty reasonable for everything here. Okay, I'm going to do all the labor myself, so I'm going to save that fee. And here's what she looks like now. Alright, so let's tear into it and see what we got. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the exhaust off just to make some more access room. So there's a clamp here, we're going to loosen that up. Okay, got that off. Now I went ahead and took the spark plug out also. This way we can turn the engine over easily without the compression. Alright, next thing is I'm going to take this hood off, get this out of the way. Okay, so you get a pivot rod right here that this pivot's on. There's a little C-clip holding that on. So you got to get that clip off of there. Okay, so once the two clips are out, let's pull the pin out, hood comes off. Okay, we're going to take the ignition coil off, so we'll take the wire off, we don't need that anymore. We got two 5/16 nuts here, so spin those off. A lock washer on there. Side. Okay, wires are disconnected. Go ahead and take the condenser off, and take the air filter off. Carburetor's got to all come off, so let's tear into that. Okay, we got two 7/16 bolts on here we got to take off. And the condenser comes off with that one. Alright, we're going to take this plate off next because the bolt is behind here and it's a little difficult to get to. I don't know if I can get it from here. Let me see. Yeah, actually I can. Okay, there's the old coil. We're going to have to take this bracket off and use it on the new one. Alright, let's work on getting this carburetor off here. So there's 3 screws that hold the air filter base plate on. Okay, that comes off. Okay, I'm going to pop this linkage off. Pop that over. Just be careful, try not to cut the line. A little bit of fuel there. Make sure that fuel petcock is shut off. Okay, all set. Okay, now let's get this carburetor off again. Okay, we're gonna knock this loose here so we can get a little more room to work with it. Okay, and there's the carburetor. Okay, so there's the old one. I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, there is a gasket on here. We want to scrape that off. Just be careful, try not to gouge up the block. All set. Okay, now this is where the points are. So we're going to take this cover off. Okay, there's your points. I'll take this screw off. Okay, take that wire out. Alright, now, what I want to do is set this so that we're on the high spot to make it easier to adjust the points after. So, let me see. Alright, so what we're looking for is the gap right here. Okay. So we're going to turn the motor until we see it open. Okay, so now we have a gap there. Those points have seen better days. So we want to make sure we're right on that high spot. Okay. Alright, now we can take these off. I mean, there's a good chance that these have never been replaced, so probably a good thing we're doing this. Okay, so here's the new points here, and what we want to do before we install them is just clean those contacts a little bit. I'm spraying a little bit of carb cleaner on there. We're just going to slip some paper in here and just pull it across the points in case they have like a protective coating on there. Now, I don't know if you can see the old ones. And then compared to the new ones, nice and shiny. Okay, so I'll put this back the same way the other one was. Okay, now we just got to get our feeler gauge, make sure it's gapped to the proper gap. So the way you're going to set these is you want this gap to be 20 thousandths of an inch, and it's pretty tight right now. So what you do is you loosen up this screw here so that you can adjust it. Okay, and you want it so it's just barely touching. Okay, so that's loose. You want to feel just a slight bit of drag in there. Okay, so that should be good. Alright, now we're going to put this wire back on here. Okay, we can go ahead and put the new spark plug in there because we don't have to turn the engine over anymore. Snug that on there. Okay, I did clean this up a little bit. So let's see about getting that new carburetor on there. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is make sure this is tight because it comes from the factory loose. Okay, so we'll make sure that's good and tight on there. Don't need any gas leaks. So we'll just go ahead and turn this around a couple times. Okay, so you want it facing in the down position like that. So when it's on the engine, it'll be facing down like that. Okay, so before we put the carburetor on, we got to stick this linkage back in here. It just pops in like that. Okay, we got the gasket on there. Slide that in. Get this one started. And then we're just going to tighten this down. Same way we took it off. Okay, so we just want to get these good and snug. Okay, you don't have to crank them down super crazy. Now these carburetors usually come pre-adjusted, but once we get it up and running again, I'll show you how to set the air-fuel mixture. Okay, so the linkage is all set. This is going to get bolted back up here. Alright, so we're going to need the coil next. Okay, now this coil actually came with its own bracket, so that's good. I don't have to save the old one. So we're going to put this bolt in here, put this bracket here, bring it back up with this hole here. Push it over. Okay, that's on there. Take these nuts off. Okay, so this is the positive one. This one's going to go here. going to go here. Okay, so we got the carburetor on, we got the coil on, and we got to put the condenser on. Alright, now this has to go to the negative. So let's be the best way to do this. Let me see if I have another bolt that'll fit that. Okay, I found another nut that's going to fit that. Actually a bolt, not a nut. And let's see, we'll put it like this. Okay, we're going to take the negative off again. And we'll just put that right on there. Okay. Oop, it's still a little loose. Don't want that. Nice and snug, just don't want to strip it out. Okay. Alright, so next thing we have is the ignition coil wire. So this end's going to go in here. Pull this boot down. Oops. Make sure it's seated good. And then this here. Alright, so we gotta push this through here. Okay, so you gotta slide the wire through the boot. Sometimes if you put a little bit of like dish soap on there, it'll help it go in easier. Alright, and then this here has a point on it that's going to dig right into the center core of the wire. So basically you put this on here and then you got to crimp it on there good. Okay, so we'll push it down on there. Okay, we get the wire on there. Let's see, we got a couple of linkages we got to put on. Okay, there's a little C-clip on here we got to pop off. Pull this handle out. So what I'm going to do is basically match these up so that way it should be pretty much close to where it was. Okay, so this end pops on here. This end goes on there. I'll put a new C-clip on there. What we're going to do now is we're going to install the new gas line and the new filter. Filter is going to go here, gas line is going to go up and connect up in the front there. Okay. Okay, so we have the new gas line on, new filter, and new line goes down around and connects up to the front. Right over here. Okay, so I'm gonna connect this line. New spring clamps on here. At some point I'll replace these other lines too. They look okay for now, but wouldn't hurt to change them. Okay, that goes there. Okay, the other thing I want to check is the governor. Gotta make sure this is set properly. So what we're going to do, we're going to loosen this nut right here. And then we want to make sure that this will spin independently from this. Okay, it is spinning independently. Alright, so what you want to do is you want to pull this lever all the way back. And then you want to turn this all the way back. So lever this way, rod connecting to it that way, and then tighten. Need an extra hand for this. Okay. Now that should be adjusted. And then the choke should be all adjusted. Okay, that's good. Well, I think that's everything. So we can put this front plate back on for the carburetor. Okay. I guess the next thing to do is see if she'll start. Well, let's see if she'll fire up. To be running good. Just gonna put the hood back on it. And then we'll get the mold blades off of there for the winter. Give it a little wash down here. Okay, so for the low speed idle adjustment, air fuel mixture, you're gonna use this screw right here. Basically what you want to do is turn it in until it starts to run a little bit rough and then just back it out again. Just kind of find that sweet spot where you get the smoothest idle out of it. Okay, and I think we're good. I'm going to put the hood back on it, take it for a little ride around the yard, make sure everything's running good, and then we'll get the mold blades off. Okay, so the next thing is, you can see we got the mold blades off of there, and I'm just draining out the oil. Okay, there's a plug right there. Just take it out. That's the plug. And you can see all the oil dripping out. So once that finishes draining, put the plug back in. I'm going to add 2 quarts of oil. Now this says you should be using 5W30. So I'm going to put some Castrol in there, some 5W30 synthetic blend, and we'll just run with that. Once that's all set, then I'm going to get the snow thrower hooked up, and maybe get the cab on it, and then we'll be all set for the winter. Alright. Okay, so I got the snow thrower back on the front of it. It's all set. You can see it work. Alright guys, that about wraps it up. So got it tuned up, got the oil change, got the snow thrower back on the front of it, got the blades off. I think she's ready for winter. I'm not, but she is. So the only other thing I may do is put the cab back on it, give me a little shelter when it's snowing and that. So that's about it. So if you guys like the video, give a thumbs up and a like and a share. And until next time, see ya.